Good morning. How are you? Well, I'm about to drive to New York today, not so much for St. Patrick's Day, although I think it's a special day that I happened to pick without thinking about it. My dad always said that with our faces, we didn't have to celebrate St. Patrick's Day because we already looked Irish enough. And he didn't think much of those who drank too much because he said if they do it all on St. Patrick's Day, they're obviously amateurs. The drink and abuse of these things was not strong in our house, but we were the four redheads, my brother, myself, my parents. We all had red hair. And whenever something happened in the neighborhood, it was the redheaded kid, myself, who did it. The thing about the Irish is the diaspora. Everybody is in the diaspora of Ireland. When you consider that St. Patrick himself was not from Ireland, then you have to admit that, we're all Irish in some way or other. It's a question of spirit and inclination and maybe fight. So in the South Bronx, 143rd and Willis Avenue, our first neighborhood, there was fight in the streets and so forth. And it just seemed natural after a while, and it may seem scandalous to others, but it was just flesh on flesh. There wasn't any weapons, there weren't knives, people had these things, but they never came out to fight. So people have asked, have I been back to Ireland? And when they first asked, I hadn't been, and I have now been. And when I was there, they warned me that not to be concerned about the scratches on both sides of the car I rented. And I found out the reason was the roads are so narrow some places that the bushes brush against your car. And everybody can speak. I asked directions one place, and this charming lady said, well, you could be just going straight down there. You'd be there in a few minutes. If only there was a road. But instead, if you come out here and you make a left and you go down the hill, it'd be like falling off a cloud. You'll see Sacre Bleu right in front of you. You'll see, the cathedral. And then you turn left at the cathedral, and it went on. And so there's not a person that I met who didn't have the gift of gab. And it was fascinating. And I thought, I'm finding out more about who I am before I was conscious and born, And the Flannerys are from County Mayo. And over the years, I've made friends in Ireland and felt more connected with these roots I didn't live, that I've borrowed from. And my grandmother left Ireland at 6 years of age. Until the day she died, you thought she left the day before, because she continued to have a brogue and tell such great stories. And when she died, there was a rain that night, and we were in a limousine, something that was like a special treat, and I was still young, and so I was very impressed. And the rain came down, and there was a tall man, slightly bent, and he had on a dark hat and a long overcoat, and it was raining and it was cold out that night. And as our car passed with my grandmother, he took off his hat and he bowed to her, and he held that position till the car with the casket went by. So the other thing that I noticed was, because on another occasion I was in a room and there was a pine box in the middle of the room, and I was again still young, and everybody was telling stories and laughing and drinking and eating food, and I was awake. They were celebrating the life that had passed of this man who sat there with this faint grin on his face, kind of dry to behold, and yet it seemed like he was able to sit up. And my sense was that this passage of death, just as in life, is something that the Irish embrace. It was Yeats who said, the Irish dream things the world has never seen. And I believe that because they do dream these things, they don't know that they can't be accomplished, and they are accomplished. Over the years, I've been lucky to meet some people who could speak beautifully and done wonderful things and showed courage. And that's what I think of the Irish. And it's been too long since we were in Ireland. So today I'll get a taste of old New York, because the Irish will cover the streets, because that's the way it is. So I don't know if I'll find trees in New York other than Central Park, but I'll try to give you some sort of reports while I'm up there. Have a great day. Erin go bra, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.